Hey, while you're in the first 5 seconds of the video, go ahead, like and subscribe.
Y'all are leading our people to destruction, to death. And I'm going to show you, if you still enrolling in these certain spirits, you're not getting the kingdom. I'm going to show y'all, I guarantee y'all not reading this in the Bible. Get this.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. For the leaders of this people calls them to err.
They what?
Calls them to err.
The leaders of this people, these pastors in these churches, these ushers, it calls them to what?
Err.
God calls our people to still stay in the midst of sin. To leave out here, come as you are and leave, and you never change. Because you like being in sin. You love sin. Give me that 1 John 5:17. I'm going to show you that. This is why they love sin. And we teaching against what these pastors teaching, because they not teaching the Bible. They teaching what they learn as, what's it called? Seminary school. That's what y'all learning at, your theology degree. We ain't have to go to no white man to learn what this Bible say. We can read now. Read.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 17. All unrighteousness is sin.
Is what?
Sin.
So y'all don't know that all unrighteousness is sin. So what is it according to the Bible? Sis, watch this. My sister, what did you learn today at church? My sister, what did y'all learn at church today? School, do you go to Holy Redeemer? You don't go there? Why you go from church to church?
Now, this is just me, but I think, why I do it, because nobody really don't have the right idea what the real deal is about Christianity that was put up on us,
Okay, so is Christianity in the Bible?
No.
It's not. No. So if I know Christianity is not in the Bible, right, but I know it's some slave masters that forced it upon us, what color was those slave masters? Right. So who gave us Christianity? Right. See how easy how you connect the dots? Yeah. You see that? So now I'm going to show you. What all churches you go to? What's the most church?
The organization was one of the main portrayal of us becoming slaves. They was right there with us preaching as they was loading us on boats.
Hey, say that part again. That was what?
They was right there with them as they was loading us on boats.
Loading us on boats. I want to be respectful. What's your name? Taylor. Okay, I'm Obadiah. Nice to meet you. Now look, what you just said, we actually got right here on this sign. Taylor, come look at this right quick. I'm going to show you something in the Bible. Why we went on those boats, or what God called them.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
God said he's going to bring us into Egypt again. Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Now we're going to show you who the whole book of Deuteronomy is talking to. We are going to show you in the Bible, because that's all we doing is reading the Bible. But these the same time, they call the police on us. Why would they want to call the police on the people that's teaching the Bible?
Right.
Because they love being in sin. Right. They don't want to hear it. That's what the sin is. I'm going to get Isaiah. Remind me to get Isaiah 30. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
To who?
All Israel.
So Taylor, he might think he African American or black, but God called us what?
All Israel.
God called the blacks and Hispanics the Israelites. Right. So when God is speaking in Deuteronomy 1 and 1, the book of through Moses, he's talking to who he talking to? Israelites. There we go. Deuteronomy 28:68. So God said he was going to put us in what?
Egypt again.
In Egypt again. How?
With ships.
Exodus 20 and 2. So God said he was going to put us in Egypt again with ships. How did black people get here today? On ships. We was taken off the west coasts of Africa, and they took us and scattered us throughout Central, South America, throughout North America, and they changed us, enslaved us, and renamed us. You get that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But what we have to learn is this. We got to get back to what we had in order to get this straightened out for our race.
I like that. Now you said we got to get back to what we had. I'm gonna deal with that.
Okay.
Let me finish this. Taylor, let me finish this. I'm gonna get right back to you. Hey, Vaughn Myers. Vaughn, I got a question for you, bro, because I know you do the community thing. I meant to get up with you. Now, you see all the violence and everything going on, right? You know Milwaukee. You a community activist. Brother, I want to ask you a question real quick. I'm speaking to Mr. Taylor, right? Do you believe in the Bible, Vaughn? You said you guess so?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, I can't really hear you. Can you come out? You mind? While Vaughn get out, I'm gonna show you this. Vaughn actually is a community activist out in Milwaukee, right? And he stand up and fight against the violence that go on. He get up with a lot of organizations that's the violence prevention organizations and things of that nature, right? But you said we got to get back to what we had, right? Now the thing is, look at this real quick. I got you, Vaughn. I know.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So what is Egypt?
Bondage.
What is Egypt?
Bondage.
What's another word for bondage, Mr. Taylor? Slavery. Hey, so let's go back to Deuteronomy 28:68. Mr. Taylor, what sinner is going to repent? I'm telling you now, the angels is going to rejoice when one sinner repent. When he chooses to put a beard back on his face, when he chooses to put fringes on, when he chooses to take his head off, take his hat off while the scriptures is coming out. That is repentance. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
What was Egypt? What's another word?
Bondage.
Which was called slavery. So God was going to put us in slavery again
with ships.
Who that happened to? Us.
Yeah.
Meaning who?
The African race.
Now, but what did God call us?
Israelites.
You learned it, Brother Taylor.
Yeah.
All praise. Hey, that's your life. Deuteronomy 33:29. Hold that right quick. Look, when I found out I was an Israelite, I did the same thing. Because you starting to feel that connection. Like, wait, I'm learning who I am again. It's coming back to you.
We got to get back. Now, when God told who was Jonah to go to Nineveh, he sent them down to Africa. Nineveh is in Africa. And he told to tell my people to come back to me.
Now look, how do we come back to God?
By going back to what we taught us in the beginning.
Which is what?
Is what he taught the Israelites.
Deuteronomy 28:15. I got you. Now we gonna show you what we was taught and why we in the conditions we in today. Why things like the mass murders in Buffalo, New York happen. Why the numerous killings out here in Milwaukee happen. We see this, Mr. Vaughn. How many times have you went out in the community and every time it's been a senseless murder between black people? It's countless, right? It's so many that you can do. I mean, only so many you can remember. Because we the only people that got a long list of people that have been killed that we never met, but we can name 5 of them off the top of our head. Trayvon, Botham Jean, Sandra Bland, Tatiana Jefferson. The names is just stuck because these the people that we care about but we never met. But let's see what the Bible says.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So because we didn't hearken into the voice of the Lord thy God, the Bible, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Is what?
All his commandments.
God gave us commandments. He never gave us religion. And when we went away from those commandments, read.
And his statutes.
Which
I command thee this day.
What he command us this day, right now. Taylor, Vaughn, this is what he command this day, right now.
That all these curses.
These what?
Curses.
These what?
Curses.
Read.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God said curses, bad things was going to happen to the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans because we didn't keep his what? His commandments. Vaughn, I know you an intelligent young brother. So God said simply, the reason why you out here having to be a community activist in your own damn city is because we didn't keep his commandments. Because we not living like Israelites.
That's right.
Read the next verse.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
God said we was going to be cursed in the city. Tell me an example of how black people is cursed in the city. Because I can go all the way back to the Black Panthers in the 60s with the civil rights movement. We was fighting 3/5 of a man, calling ourselves, what was that? They were sicking dogs on us. All those events. But now, what is a current event now, most recently, to show how we cursed in the city?
We're killing each other every day.
Killing each other? What you think, Bob?
Drugs, crisis.
Drugs. Now, how do we get
and all that?
Sex trafficking?
Yeah.
You touched a heavy one right there. Now, how do we get our people to change? Because if they still think they African American and black, these are the type of people that do drugs, that kill each other. But as Israelites, then you're going to learn what the churches is not teaching us. Then you're going to learn that, guess what? God gave us commandments. Leviticus 19:17. These is one of the commandments God gave us, and this is what's going to change Milwaukee. Vaughn, how does it feel when you see your own people killing each other? I want to hear what's your initial thoughts when you see this stuff happening and you got to go live on Facebook and put your own people out on your live? In a sense of, I'm trying to bring awareness to make this stuff stop, but you keep having something new every week, bro. Every week. So how do we make them change?
Change their hearts and minds, really.
I like that. What you think, Mr. Taylor?
Get back to being an Israelite.
Say, whoa. Hey, Mr. Taylor. You gotta say that on the mic. Mr. Taylor, hey, I knew you might be one of them brothers from back in the day. Hey, read.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17.
So he said, come back to being an Israelite. Fine, that's all we teaching. Because I knew when I grew up in Christianity, I knew when my brothers grew up in Muslims, talking about they blood, stones, TVL, CVL, GD, BDK, all these same, I guarantee you the young brothers in that same church be the same young brothers that be hugging the block. They be the same ones with 50 round, 100 round drums, and they not using it to protect their community. But what happened when the white man get a gun in his hand? Do he go and shoot up his own neighborhood? Or he go to your neighborhood? He go to where we live at, and he spray paint nigger on the gun. Here's your reparations on the gun. And then we go and say, oh, we need to forgive. Some of our people gonna wake up and realize that we need to stop forgiving and start changing. We need to be forgiving of our own people. They don't forgive us.
Straight out.
A brother get locked up for a speeding ticket, a little bag of weed, he all of a sudden do a year, he get a felony. America don't even forgive. Tell me they do. Read this.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
And that's what we teach it, to not hate your brother in your heart. But these brothers don't, they coming at us because we teaching to tell, literally let that sink in. If this church was about love, and we out here with the Bible, telling our people to stop hating each other, and you as a community activist are telling the same message with your people to stop shooting and killing each other. Which one, who is wrong? I don't even want you to pick a side, but it's sinking in.
I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to pick. God never gave us religion, but guess what? When you go into religion, you make men like that. You make men that'll complain about what's going on in the streets, but then they'll rise up and try to fight against the brothers that's changing the streets. Because as you see each one of these purple shirts, that's another husband. That means that's not one less baby daddy.
Yeah.
You see another purple shirt, guess what? That's one more brother that don't hate their brother.
Yeah.
That's one less brother that got the mindset to kill his brother.
Yes.
These is the things that's changing in the community, but they not out here. That's why we out here in front of their establishment teaching them to say, hey, come out. Come out and deal with the people. But watch this.
Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor.
From the top.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in anywise rebuke thy neighbor.
But you know what? They hate when they get corrected. Us as a people don't like correction, don't like accountability. When you try to correct the black woman, she say, what about the man? When you try to correct the pastor, when you try to correct the church, they came out here and said, we gonna knock your ass out. What kind of church? Now tell me Milwaukee don't speak like that, bro. Tell me that ain't Milwaukee lingo, verbatim, word for word. I'ma knock your ass out. And that's all we trying to teach. We love these people. We love our people. We just don't want them to continue to have hatred in their heart. Because that's where it all stemmed from. You said you have to what? Change the mind, right? So now if I come back to what Mr. Taylor said, I have to come back to being an Israelite. You're not going to what? From the top.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
You're not going to hate your brother. Read.
Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor. and not suffer sin upon him.
And you gonna correct your brother according to God. Cause you know back in the, Mr. Taylor, have you ever told one of these young brothers pull their pants up? And what was the response that you got? Wait, baby, what?
You ready to bam?
So you ready? These same brothers, when they get corrected, God said if you don't correct them, that's hatred. Like if I see you out on the street with your guns and your niggas on the block more than taking care of your kids, I tell you get off the block, go be with your kid. Now you respond in the sense of who the hell are you talking to, who you think you is. That's hatred if I don't correct you. But we enable people to continue and stay in their sin. We enable brothers to continue to be weak to serve the woman. When God said the man is over the woman. When you look at the black community, we the only ones with a community that got the women trying to be neck to neck and over us. But back in the day, was it like that, Mr. Taylor? Oh, because we don't know who we are.
Yes, exactly.
We don't.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge.
Thou shalt not avenge or bear any grudge. Vaughn, do you know people that take vengeance in their own hands? Like if a brother, hey, I'm gonna use Chicago for example. I can't even use Milwaukee. If somebody kill your family member, your cousin, what's the first thing them young brothers go and do?
Yeah.
They go and get back. And they ain't taking no hostages. I don't care if you with your kids or nothing. I'm finna go load up, read.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
God said don't avenge or bear any grudge against your people. These are things that God gave us to have us get the community back in order. And to live together, because guess what? A lot of people in the Milwaukee ghetto, where they want to live at? When they get a bag, when they get money, where they move to?
Right here.
They move where?
Suburbs.
They move to the Burgers, Milwaukee, Tulsa, Germantown. They move out of the ghetto. But remember, God said because we broke his commandments, we was going to be cursed into what? 28:16? I'm going to bring it right back for you. God said we was going to be cursed in the city for breaking his commandments. So much to the point to where you won't even want to live in your own neighborhood. Because it's the brothers that say, I love the hood, I love the block. But they the same ones be having peas in the car. They be having pills in the car. They be taking sisters and leading them to that sex trafficking that go on. And they don't rise up and fight and do nothing to it. Do nothing for it. Because we cursed in the city. Read.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16.
So God said this was going to happen to Israelites.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Come on.
Cursed shalt thou basket and thy store. That's it.
Yeah, cursed in the city, cursed in the field. How was we cursed in the field? Look at the signs. Because we already showed Mr. Taylor earlier how God said he was going to send us into slavery again with what? With ships. With ships, right? That happened to Israelites. That's what God called us. But we know them today as what? Black people. Your shirt black, your pants black, my pants black. That's just the color. That's not a nationality. Jeremiah 17:4. So this is what God said was going to happen to us for breaking his commandments. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself.
So God said, thou, even thyself. Read.
Shall discontinue.
Shall discontinue. Vaughn, what do it mean to discontinue? To no longer what? Simply you was going to be cut off. Read.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue.
God said you, the Israelites, going to discontinue or be cut off
from thy heritage.
From our heritage. Is our heritage 4th of July? Celebrating our oppressor that had us in yokes of iron around our neck in 1776. Is that our heritage? Is our heritage twerking? Is that our heritage? Wait, now we gonna hit some points. Is our heritage Christmas? Is that our heritage? Vaughn, stop. He said, whoa, wait. That's not our custom either. No. It's not our heritage. No. In the beginning of time with Christmas, guess what? We was the gifts.
Right.
But they was giving our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our nephews, our nieces, our cousins, our uncles. They were selling and giving up as a gift, saying, "Here's a slave, a good nigga. He ain't never been whipped. He ain't got no lashes on his back. He's 6'8", real strong. He gonna be able to do all the work in the field for you."
Yes.
Why would I want to sell it? We the only people that celebrate our oppression, because God said we was gonna be cut off from our heritage. Read.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue.
Go back to heritage.
From thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
What?
Serve thy enemies.
How do we serve our enemies today? Who is our enemy? Because I'm going to tell you. Go ahead, Vaughn. I'm glad. Go ahead.
The system.
The system. Who? We got to pinpoint it. Now, who manages and creates that system?
Yeah. White people.
White people.
Yeah.
Taylor said, yeah, you remember back in the day,
Yeah.
Those people that we think God gave us to love, guess what? They hate us. And they show it every day. They show it. They'll put police in their community before they put reparations. They ain't even fixing the potholes. You think they gonna fix the black man? The black man is perfectly engineered to serve their enemies. Right. Because they will sit here and fight against their own people, but they'd never do none of the stuff you seen happen today against the people that destroy the system. They want to try to integrate and get in the system and try to vote and get in the system. And these ain't nothing but black faces in high places. And they put these prestigious leaders in positions that we think we going to help the liberation of our people. We not going to free nobody through that. I'm going to get one last scripture. Give me Leviticus 21:5. I'm going to show y'all the laws that God gave us, and then we just got to repent. Read this.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 21 and verse 5.
So, Mr. Taylor, Vaughn, I'm going to show you what God gave us. He gave us laws. But he said, because you don't keep the commandments, you're going to be cursed in the city. Read.
They shall not make boldness upon their heads.
So God said we're not supposed to shave our head. It's a big fashion statement today. The Michael Jordans, the Charles Barkleys, the Tay Diggs, the Morris Chestnuts. They shave their head off. That's not our customs. That's not our heritage. Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
God said you're not going to shave off the corner of their beard. Do you shave? You shave. God said you're not supposed to shave. Why? Because we was made in the image of God. Right here. This right here is what Christianity teaches. To make us accept white supremacy, white dominance. That's why we're more forgiving of our enemies than our own people. But in the Bible, God said, as an Israelite, this is what you look like. This is a more accurate description. God had hair on his head, hair on his face. But when we became slaves, they put us on the slave boats. They shaved our heads off. They shaved our beards off. Now how they do it today? Oh, I'm going to give you 90 a year. I'm going to give you 80 grand a year. And I'm going to make you work on Saturday. You just got to shave your beard. What the hell? Why I can't have, what is my beard doing? I work at a damn warehouse stacking boxes, and you talking about some, yeah, just shave your beard. So let's see, Matthew 26. Now I'm going to show you, look. Only thing that we teaching is that the black man is an Israelite according to the Bible. That's right. That Jesus is not white. He's a black man that look like us. Bring it out. That the Israelites went into slavery for breaking the commandments. That we would no longer remember who we are because we don't even care to know who we are. But like Mr. Taylor said, we got to come back to who we are as the what? As the Israelites.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.